In this video, I'm gonna cover the 5 best work from home sales jobs that you can apply for without any experience whatsoever and still make great money in 2024. I'm talking $2,000 per month all the way up to $100,000 per month. So if you want to know what that is, stick with me until the end because I'm going to start from the one that actually has the lower payout to the one that pays the most. All right. Job number 1 is a virtual assistant position helping more advanced salespeople. Maybe you don't think that this is selling, but I included on this list because it will give you, I guess, experience for what a sales job will actually look like. It will get the groundwork done for you. As a VA working for someone that's more experienced, you're going to be doing a couple things. Most likely you're going to learn how to operate the CRM. You will do some admin for that person, for the sales person that you're working for. You'll also be doing reach outs, most likely to reschedule people that no-showed or to confirm appointments. Anything that the salesperson actually asks you to do, you'll be likely doing. You know, this is a typical job. I'd say between 5 to 6 hours a day, could be even up to 8 hours a day, depending on the volume that particular sales professional have. But it will lay the foundation for you to be able to, I guess, scale your operations and really start applying for better jobs, better positions. And here there's not a lot of pressure. So if you are the type of person that, you know, kind of slow down under pressure, or you don't like pressure from the get-go, this is a great option. Payout here, we're talking about anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 a month. And it really depends on the type of person that you work for, company that you're working for, type of ticket that they have. All right. Moving on, the second job, which is a little bit a higher pay grade than the second, would be DM setting. Still talking about entry-level sales position, still doesn't require any sort of like experience or training, but this also doesn't require you to be on the phones. If you have a little bit of a difficulty talking to people on the phone, especially if you haven't done that in the past, this is great because you're only going to be messaging people on social media. It could be over text using phones, but it's all through text communication. You will be doing similar things, so booking appointments, rescheduling people. I'm talking about re-engaging those people that maybe wanted to schedule an appointment in the beginning but never did. So this is more of a direct selling position, but you're not selling a product yet. You're selling the next step, which in this case would be 100% of the time, I should say 99% of the time, an appointment with a more experienced salesperson. All right. This is great for you if you are not, you know, comfortable yet getting on the phones, or if you just want to work from your computer, maybe you want to do a couple hours of a side hustle type thing, this could be a great position for you. Pay here will vary between $1,500 to $3,000 a month. Realistically speaking, you could find a unicorn out there that pays, you know, between $5,000 to $7,000, but that will be a variable type of pay, meaning most likely you would be paid based on performance. And what I mean by that is you will book appointments, and the appointments that the salesperson actually sell, you get a share of it or a commission out of it. So a large portion of this income will highly depend on how good your sales team actually is. This is great for you, especially when you have no experience in the beginning. A lot of people start there. They move forward to the next one, which would be appointment setting. Now, the difference here is that we're adding the phone component to the game, right? So instead of messaging people on social media or through text, you're actually calling these people. But the key distinction here is usually those people have raised their hand to say that they want something that you are offering. When I say you, I mean the company. So maybe they have a training, they have some sort of investment product that this person already showed interest in, and you'll be calling them. You'll be calling people up to essentially like ask a couple questions in regards of why did they request that type of information, what exactly they might be looking for, what type of problems they're looking to solve, and still selling the next step, which would be a call or an appointment with the sales rep. That is like the number one goal of an appointment setter. You're still not quite selling the products directly unless they are very low ticket. Sometimes appointment setters actually do sell those, but it's very rare. Now, in terms of compensation here, it can go up significantly. Like we're talking about, maybe $3,000 to $7,000 per month, depending on the company that you work for and how high ticket those products that you guys are selling or offering actually are. And some unicorns out there will pay between 7 to 10 grand. Keep in mind that your income is still dependent on the salesperson's ability to sell. Therefore, you will have a variable component that's highly dependable on the team that you're working for. So choose wisely, all right? Fourth thing, moving down the line, now we're talking about outbound sales reps, right? You could take a position as an SDR doing what we call outbound. Usually there's way more volume here. That is the key distinction. And when I say volume is in the amount of people that you can actually reach out to, because they didn't necessarily request any sort of appointment or anything of that nature. It's not a cold call because they do know who is calling them. They do know most of the time about your company, what you guys offer, but they didn't request a call necessarily. So you'd be calling people all day long, trying to figure out if they have interest in what you have to offer. What was the reason for them to reach out in the first place or opt in for whatever you were offering, maybe some freebie or something like that. And if you think about this is a great position to really master the skill and hone in the skill of being comfortable on the phone and having conversations, because you're going to spend a lot of time on the phones. And when I say a lot of time, I'm talking about 8-10 hours, sometimes more, because you got to make up for the skills that you lack in the beginning, and that will create massive amounts of opportunity for you in the future, because you won't be scared. You won't be, different when you talk to people on the phone. Usually people get a little bit anxious or nervous, and going through this outbound position, you are getting ready for the big league selling, very high ticket items. Now, the distinction here is you will be doing a lot of dials. You also can improve a lot what you earn. When I say that, what I mean is because you're solely dependent on your production and how much consistency and persistence you have in really calling these people and booking the appointments, you could earn anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000 in that range. And if you find a company that really sells some high ticket items, software or something like that, you could earn even more than that, including the bonuses that you might be able to hit as long as you perform as well and hit KPIs, right? So those were like the 4 main ones, but there's one that is the outlier, and it's number 5, which is the closer, right? The high ticket salesperson or the sales professional that are already selling the products and offers that the company actually have. So that's how I started. It's not very common for somebody to just jump into selling straight off the bat, but it does happen. So I included in here, and in my case, for example, it happened without me having any experience. That's why I decided to put it on this list, because it could happen. It happened to me. It can definitely happen to you. Keep in mind that I had to go through a lot of training, and I decided to do it on my own, invested my own capital to learn how to sell first. That's why I kind of bypassed the other 4 opportunities and went straight to selling a high ticket item. Now, there are some cons to that, which is afterwards, after 6 months, a year that I was actually selling, I had to go back and still learn how to set appointments, how to confirm appointments, how to make sure that people were showing up, and things that I did not learn throughout the process because I skipped ahead. So keep in mind that bypassing everything and kind of going towards the end might not be the best journey for you, but it's an option. So here it is. Now, what would be the responsibilities of a closer? Essentially making sure that people hop on the phone, confirming calls, making sure that they will show up, because that's what your income and the revenue is tied to, people showing up to the calls. You gotta sell people, make sure that the people that are hopping on the phone are a good match and you're able to actually enroll them. Know how to take them through a process that is consistent and repeatable so that you can have predictability of income, the business can have predictability of revenue, and things are just smooth for everybody. You'll also most likely be doing follow-ups, keeping the relationship between you and the prospects very tight, in building and developing that so they can get referrals later on, get more opportunities from that type of sale and relationship that you are building for the long run. Another thing that is going to be very important is you will be able to, in the long run, create some sort of prospecting that will generate leads for you. That way you're not completely dependent on somebody else's ability to provide you with opportunity. Opportunity is the lifeblood of your income, essentially. So you got to make sure to have redundancy to be able to do that later on. Income here could be anywhere from $8,000 all the way up to 20 grand. This is like the sweet spot or the ballpark. But some unicorns, sometimes they make over $100,000 in a month in terms of commissions. The higher the ticket, usually the more commissions you make. As long as you're good in selling what you're selling, as long as you know how to take people through a repeatable process that will convert the majority of them, just assuming that they are a good match for what you have to offer and what you're offering solves the problem that they are trying to solve or the needs that they have. All right, so those are the 5, I'd say, very high paying opportunities that you have in sales that you can start as a newbie with 0 experience, even in 2024. And if you want to know how I started, straight going to Closer, and in the first 3 months I was already earning $10,000 per month. This video here is all about that.